Sometimes help isn't coming. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones who destroy you first. In Sam Raimi's darkest psychological thriller yet, Send Help, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien take us into a world where survival, sanity, and morality are ripped apart, one twisted moment at a time. The trailer opens with a calm voice, but beneath it lies chaos. A workplace rivalry, a crash, two souls stranded, and a dangerous power struggle that turns survival into a game of domination. Send help. Those two words echo through the wilderness, through fear, through every human instinct that screams for rescue. But what if no one's listening? What if the real monster isn't nature, but the person standing next to you? From the visionary mind of Sam Raimi, the genius behind The Evil Dead, Spider-Man, and Drag Me to Hell, comes a film that dives deep into the darkest corners of human nature. Send Help follows Linda, Rachel McAdams, a sharp, career-driven woman whose life takes a terrifying turn when a corporate retreat flight crashes somewhere off the coast. Stranded with her arrogant boss, Bradley, Dylan O'Brien, what begins as a fight for survival soon becomes a psychological battlefield. The trailer teases us with eerie shots of the coastline, wreckage, and two survivors whose relationship fractures minute by minute. It's not just about staying alive, it's about who you become when the rules disappear. Raimi, known for his haunting blend of horror and humor, gives us a tone that's both chilling and darkly comic. The line between predator and prey, between captor and captive, slowly dissolves until we're not sure who's the villain anymore. The trailer starts innocently. Complaints at the office, whispers of tension. Rachel McAdams' character is accused of having a noxious odor, a strange and humiliating detail that hints at deep resentment between her and her boss. Moments later, the world collapses. Literally, a crash, a blackout, the ocean swallowing everything. And when they wake, they're alone. No rescue team, no signal, just two broken people and a burning question. What happens when power has no consequences? Dylan O'Brien's character, Bradley, clings to control. Even stranded, he still calls himself the boss. "You work for me," he says, a line that sends chills down the spine. McAdams, however, doesn't bow. "We're not in the office anymore, Bradley," she snaps, marking the beginning of a deadly dynamic. What follows is tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Fires flicker in the night, shadows move in the distance, and their sanity unravels. Bradley becomes paranoid, aggressive, territorial. Linda becomes calculating, distant, maybe even dangerous herself. The trailer cuts to her whispering, "No help is coming." Her eyes are wild, but calm, as if she's accepted something dark, something primal. Then, in a haunting twist, we hear him say, "You ever hunt?" followed by her chilling reply, "I think I like it." Is she evolving or unraveling? The internet has exploded since the trailer dropped. Fans are calling this Rachel McAdams' most unhinged performance since Gone Girl-style thrillers, while others are hailing Dylan O'Brien's transformation from romantic lead to psychotic survivalist as Oscar-worthy. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "Rachel McAdams in full psychological breakdown mode? I'm sold." Another posted, "This feels like Sam Raimi's Castaway meets horror. I haven't felt this unsettled since Misery." Critics have already begun dissecting the symbolism. The island as a metaphor for emotional isolation, the boss-worker dynamic as a reflection of late-stage capitalism, and the dark humor that creeps through even as the tension rises. Even Variety called it a twisted mirror of modern power structures, office hierarchies meeting primal instinct. But what you didn't see in the trailer is even darker. Sources close to the production say that Sam Raimi demanded full realism. No green screens, no CGI water. The cast reportedly filmed for weeks on an isolated stretch of coastline in British Columbia, often cut off from phone service and internet access. Rachel McAdams allegedly performed many of her own survival stunts, including being submerged in freezing water for extended takes. Insiders say one scene required her to be buried in sand for nearly an hour to capture a single shot. And Dylan O'Brien? He reportedly stayed in character the entire time, refusing to interact with crew members between takes. His portrayal of Bradley, cold, manipulative, and quietly deranged, is said to have unsettled even McAdams herself. One crew member told Entertainment Weekly, "There were moments on set where you couldn't tell if they were acting or actually fighting. It was that intense." Film critics are already predicting Send Help will dominate the 2026 awards season. Renowned film analyst Rebecca Vaughn called it a psychological masterstroke, Raimi's best since Drag Me to Hell. Insider sources also reveal that Raimi drew inspiration from real-life survival studies, exploring how isolation triggers shifts in dominance, empathy, and even violence. Psychologist Dr. Layla Mason, who consulted on the film, said, "This movie isn't about survival in the wild, it's about survival of identity. What happens when the masks of society fall off?" For Rachel McAdams, Send Help marks a dramatic career reinvention. After years in romantic comedies and heartfelt dramas, this is her darkest, most layered role yet, one that could define the next phase of her career. Dylan O'Brien, meanwhile, is stepping out of the nice guy image from Teen Wolf and Love and Monsters, diving headfirst into villainy. Fans are calling this the role that finally proves his depth. If Send Help hits as expected, both stars could find themselves on Oscar shortlists, and Raimi could once again redefine the psychological horror genre for a new generation. Many fans are comparing Send Help to classics like Misery, The Lighthouse, and even Cast Away. But make no mistake, this film is something entirely different. It's not just survival horror. It's corporate trauma meets primal madness. Like Gone Girl, it weaponizes gender and power. Like The Shining, it traps its characters in isolation until sanity rots. But unlike any of them, it laughs at itself. That's Raimi's signature, horror wrapped in irony, terror laced with wit. Send Help is more than a movie. It's a mirror. It forces us to ask, when the world collapses, who are you really, the helper or the hunted? Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, Sam Raimi. 3 names colliding in one storm of fear, ego, and survival. The trailer leaves us with one haunting truth. Sometimes help doesn't come, because we were never meant to be saved. Coming January 30th, 2026, Send Help, and trust me, you'll never forget who didn't make it off that beach.